What's up, Bulldogs? All right, today we're going to be talking about OMAD again. This is video 2 in the series on OMAD, and we're going to be talking about the physical benefits. What are the physical benefits of OMAD, or 1 meal a day? This is the lifestyle, the way that I eat. I've been doing this for 4 years. What are the physical benefits of OMAD? Now, before I get into the physical benefits of OMAD, and there's a really good one coming up near the end of this video, I want you to leave a comment below if you are currently doing OMAD. Let me know, and if you've seen physical benefits from it, I want to hear back from you. At a very, very basic level, what OMAD gets you is a very easy calorie deficit. And I say easy, we're going to be talking about the psychological benefits in the next video, but I call this easy because it's simple. It's a simple protocol. Now, adjusting to OMAD is hard, okay? Eating 1 meal a day, when you're used to eating 3, when you're used to eating 5 or 6, 7, like I used to do when I was on the bodybuilder diet and had a worse physique than I do now, which, by the way, I'm going to show you guys my physique in every single one of these videos, but, you know, it's pretty good, right? I'm pretty ripped, okay? When you're going from 6 or 7 meals a day or 3 meals a day to 1, it's hard. It takes a period to adjust, perhaps like 2 weeks before you start to adjust, but then it becomes normal. And actually, internally, the Ghrelin hormone, right, it actually changes. What happens in your body is it secretes a hormone that makes you hungry, okay, and that changes when you don't eat as frequently. The big physical benefit of OMAD is going to be mostly that calorie deficit, okay? If you are only eating 1 meal a day, you are less likely to be eating a lot of calories, right? You're basically, like, one way of thinking about this is skipping breakfast and lunch. Now, I had problems with intermittent fasting before, right? The basic 16-8 protocol that most people follow, because all that really is skipping breakfast. And while skipping breakfast is good, I think fasting for longer, the problem is you're hungry, you eat more food at lunch, at least I did, and I ate more food at dinner, and I could actually be in more of a calorie surplus because I'm only really skipping on maybe what are you going to eat for breakfast, 500 or 600 calories, maybe 700 calories, but I can easily overcome that in the next 2 meals, especially when I'm really hungry, especially when I think that I'm doing intermittent fasting. But it's much more difficult to eat, let's say, you know, for me, I need to eat about 3,000 calories a day just to maintain. That's without my physical exercise. If I'm running and lifting, I'm probably more in the 3,500 to 4,000 calorie maintenance range, and probably closer to the 4,000 calorie. So for me to eat 4,000 calories in 1 meal, it's definitely doable. I can eat more than that, but it's a lot more difficult, especially if I'm eating clean food. So the biggest physical benefit that you're going to see from doing 1 meal a day is that you're probably going to lose weight easily if that's what you're trying to do. Now, I'll talk about in some later videos, so make sure you're subscribed, about how you can gain weight and gain muscle. You don't just have to lose weight doing this. Also, what ends up happening when you fast, okay? And it depends on how long you fast, but if you fast, a couple things happen. One is that in your body, the HGH levels rise. In fact, over 24 to 48 hours, they really can rise as much as 1,000% or more. There's some studies that show this. HGH is good. It is an anabolic hormone. So what does that mean? It is going to preserve muscle. Okay, so when you're fasting, when you're doing intermittent fasting like this, when you're eating 1 meal a day and you're fasting for a long period of time, you actually are in a muscle preservation state. So now I know that some of you don't believe this, and there's studies and all kinds of stuff, but the proof is in the pudding. All right, I lifted up my shirt, I showed you my abs. Okay, you can see that I have muscle. You know what I mean? I am not by any means a small dude. I'm 220 pounds, and this is with me running 40-50 miles a week. I'll be running a marathon this weekend. This is with me doing Muay Thai, kickboxing 3 times a week, sweating my ass off, doing a lot of physical exercise, only eating 1 meal a day. How am I keeping this muscle? How am I staying at 220? Easy. Because I'm eating 1 meal a day, I'm getting the benefits of muscle preservation. When you are caveman, okay, and you are hunting, and you're not going to get a lot of food very often, and maybe you're going to get a kill once every 3 days, you don't have a refrigerator, you're going to gorge on that food, right? But you're going to be fasting most of the time, and you're not going to be getting many nutrients, maybe some berries and some nuts that you can forage from here. Are you going to be weak? No, you need to hold the muscle. You need to be strong. You need to be able to kill. You're actually going to have physical benefits. And I found that I actually am stronger. I actually have better endurance, I'm faster, I'm sharper, okay? I'm more physically in tune when I'm fasting than without, and it makes sense from a biological evolutionary perspective, okay? There's been a lot of research that shows that what happens physically when you fast for a long enough period of time, like doing the 1 meal a day, is that you have cancer benefits, right? Because what ends up happening is that your body actually eats its own cells. Your cells that are weaker end up dying, okay? They end up being eaten by the rest of your body, being used as fuel, and so that new cells can form, and so the weakest die off. So it's a way of like culling the weak, right? If you think about this, kind of decimating your cells, and it ends up creating a stronger organism altogether. Cancer cells or defective cells, you know, if you give them time for this to happen, it's going to kill off those cells and leave you with the good cells. Now again, there's still a lot of science to be proven here, but I can tell you just from my own perspective, from my own, you know, again, like I said, the proof is in the pudding here. I've been doing this for about 4 years. I feel like I look younger now than I did about 4 years ago. I feel younger for sure. And most people would not guess my age. I think in the first video, I said guess my age, and I'm 38, okay? Now, again, if I dye my hair, which sometimes I do, so you don't see any gray, you would think that I'm younger than that. I've gotten 30 many times before, and you know, it depends on how I'm dressed and what I look like, but in general, right, I mean, heck, I'm running fucking marathons, I'm doing all kinds of stuff, I have the physique of someone who might be in their 20s and be in really good shape, okay, and a lot of that has to do with what I believe is the anti-aging effects of fasting. The only thing proven to increase human lifespan, okay, in any tests that have been done, has been long-term restricted eating, okay? So, low-calorie diets. In fact, you want to double a rodent's lifespan, all you have to do is half their food, okay? This has been proven in many animal species that by restricting the calories, you increase the lifespan. And that's one of the things that 1 meal a day and fasting does. In fact, the benefit really is from that fasting. 1 meal a day is a way to be able to fast, okay, that you can do every single day and gain those benefits. And you know, there's some benefits for longer term fasting. We'll talk a little bit about that. From a physical perspective, I can tell you that I've been able to lose fat and keep the muscle at the same time. I've been able to stay younger, at least in my opinion, and most people that have talked to me, okay? And I have been able to rejuvenate my body better, right? I have a lot of health benefit from that. I'm in tip-top shape. I've had my blood work done, and everything is looking great, and a lot of it has to do with the fasting. I'll give you one last bonus one. Remember I said I was going to give you one big one here for 1 meal a day and fasting. If you have type 2 diabetes, again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not going to give you medical advice here, but if you do something like 1 meal a day where you're doing this fasting, okay, you can reverse diabetes, type 2 diabetes, okay? Again, I can't guarantee you, I'm not a medical doctor, consult your doctor before you do something like that. If you cause yourself harm or something, you're on insulin medication and stuff, you need to like make sure that you're doing this the right way, because you don't want to be taking insulin and fasting at the same time. Not necessarily a good thing, right? It doesn't make very much sense, or metformin and things like that. But you can, and there have been many cases of people reversing type 2 diabetes, completely curing it from doing a restricted eating fasting, something like 1 meal a day. When you're not eating, right, if the longer you go without eating, the less insulin that you secrete into your bloodstream, which makes it so that your organs, your skeletal muscle, your fat cells can become more sensitized again to insulin, which is what you want. You want your body to have a very fast insulin response so that when you eat things, it is able to remove the blood and store it in your muscle glycogen stores and fat if it needs to, right? But you want to be efficient in that way. And diabetes, type 2 diabetes, is when your body becomes insulin resistant. The cells in your body become insulin resistant. The more insulin resistant they are, the more insulin that you need in order to have the effect. And so that's what causes you a lot of times to get fat and to develop diabetes. That's all I have for you today in this video.